Now stress. Stress. The four main stressors are known as internal stressors, external stressors, personal factors, and occupation factors. The internal stressors are the things we think about, known as experience, memories, and self-worth. External stressors are the things in our surroundings, known as competition or the weather on the day. Personal factors. The people we share our lives with, known as family, friends, partners, and other life factors such as money and health. And the last one, occupation factors. The job the individual undertakes, the people they work with, and the working conditions of that job. Causes of stress. Causes of stress are things such as the death of a loved one, divorce, loss of job, increase in financial obligations, getting married, moving to a new home, chronic illness or injury, emotional problems such as depression, anxiety, anger, grief, guilt, low self-esteem, taking care of an elderly or a sick member, or traumatic events such as natural disaster, theft, rape, or violence against you or a loved one. I got all those causes from www.webmd.com. I now have causes of stress at work. So things that happen at work which make you stressed. So long hours, heavy workload, changes within the organisation, tight deadlines, changes to the duty, boring work, lack of proper resources, lack of equipment, harassment, discrimination, or poor relationships with the colleague or your bosses. I got these stresses from www.betterhealth.vic.gov.org. Now moving on to health risks. The health risks that stress can cause you are things like heart disease, diabetes, depression, premature deaths, headaches, obesity, and asthma. So heart disease, researchers have long suspects that stressed out type A personalities has a high risk of blood pressure and heart problems. Stress can directly increase heart rate and blood flow and can cause the release of cholesterol and triglycerides in the bloodstream. Diabetes. Stress can worsen diabetes in two ways. First, it increases the likelihood of bad behaviour, such as unhealthy eating and excessive drinking. Secondly, stress seems to raise the glucose levels of people with type 2 diabetes directly. Depression. One survey of recent studies found that people who had stress related to their jobs, likely demanding work with few rewards, so working and not getting paid much, had an 80% higher risk of developing depression within a few years than people who have lower levels of stress. Premature deaths. A study looked at health effects of stress by studying elderly caregivers looking after their spouses. People who are naturally under a great deal of stress, it's found that caregivers had a 63% higher rate of death than people that aged are not caregivers. I got this information from www.webmd.com.